If you've never been to hell, how would you know there's no way out? Cannot. There are things that, if we only observe from a distance, we will never truly understand. Hell here doesn't necessarily mean a metaphysical realm, but can be those moments of ultimate pain, loss, failure, or despair that a person is forced to confront. When you've never walked through those dark places, every piece of advice about finding a way out easily becomes empty words, like drawing a map for a land you've never set foot in. Hell, where every step feels heavy, as lead and light seems to be swallowed whole. Yet it is precisely in that context that the desire to live, the desire to escape, burns most fiercely. The way out isn't always a wide open door, but sometimes just a tiny crack, a fragile ray of light enough to make someone believe that darkness isn't everything. Only those who have been truly lost, who have fallen to rock bottom, can recognize the value of that faint light and cherish every slow step forward. People are brave when they choose to face pain instead of avoiding it, because it is the harsh experience itself that sharpens wisdom and deepens compassion. Once you've walked through your own hell, you don't just find a way out for yourself. You also gain enough empathy to guide others. And at that point, your words are no longer empty theories, but become a warm lamp, illuminating the path for those still groping in the dark, helping them believe that there is always a way out, as long as we never stop searching. Don't be afraid of new beginnings. Don't hesitate with new people, new energies. Embrace the opportunity for happiness, because it doesn't come around many times in life. Billy Chapata, every beginning carries the fragility of a newborn sprout, yet also hides a fierce vitality, strong enough to break through hard soil of worry and doubt. People often fear the new because it demands we leave the familiar comfort zone, where everything has already been shaped. Yet it is precisely in that unknown space that we discover untapped possibilities within ourselves. Don't hesitate with new people, new energies, like small rivers meeting, blending to create a wider, richer flow. Every person we meet, every energy we encounter, is a different shade of color, helping paint a more vibrant picture of life. If we close ourselves off, we only see a tiny corner of the world. But when we open our hearts, that world suddenly becomes wider, deeper, more alive. New energies don't only come from others. They also awaken curiosity, faith, and inspiration that had long been asleep inside us. The finite nature of time and opportunity, happiness isn't always loud or dazzling. Sometimes it's just the moment we dare to choose, dare to step forward, dare to live true to our feelings. Opportunities for happiness are like morning sunlight. Hesitate, and we may miss that tender warmth forever. Dare to open your heart, cherish the present, and trust that every new beginning can be a door leading to a happier version of yourself. Never bow your head, always hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye. Helen Keller, an attitude toward a vast and ever-changing life. A person standing tall amid the current of existence, not avoiding, not trembling, nor shrinking before challenges and judgment. Bowing the head here is not merely a physical gesture, but a sign of self-doubt, resignation, and loss of faith in one's own worth. When we bow our head, our vision narrows. The world grows heavier and gloomier, and we, ourselves, are easily drowned in feelings of inferiority. Conversely, holding the head high is an act of awakening and self-respect. It is when a person becomes aware of their own value, dares to accept both strengths and flaws, and refuses to let temporary hardships define who they are. The image of a raised head evokes a tree standing straight through storm and wind. It may sway, it may be wounded, but it does not break. That very posture helps us maintain inner balance, so no matter how hard life pushes, we still stand firm on our own feet. The world is not only the society outside, but also the challenges, prejudices, failures, and fears inside each person. Looking straight ahead means facing reality, neither running away nor sugarcoating it. It is the gaze of courage and honesty, allowing us to learn from stumbles and grow from wounds. When we dare to look straight, we are no longer passive before life, but become an equal partner in dialogue with it, living with the posture of a spiritually free human being, knowing how to hold the head high to believe in oneself, and looking the world in the eye to understand that every challenge is an inevitable part of the journey of growth. Decisiveness is a trait of dynamic men and women. Any decision is better than no decision at all. In 2I, Brian Tracy. The character of modern human beings. In a life of constant motion, where opportunity and challenge walk hand in hand, decisiveness is not simply the ability to choose quickly, but the manifestation of a proactive spirit that dares to take responsibility for the path it walks. A dynamic person is not someone who is always right, but someone who refuses to let fear of mistakes paralyze their steps. They understand that standing still is also a choice, but it is usually the choice that quietly lets time and opportunity slip away. Decisiveness carries the appearance of an inner flame that urges people to act rather than hesitate, to move forward rather than pause. A decision, even if imperfect, still creates motion, like a boat leaving the harbor to face the waves. It accepts the storm, but at least has the chance to find land. Conversely, making no decision means the boat remains forever anchored, safe, but confined, eventually losing both the journey and the longing. Indecision is often disguised as caution, but at its core, it is fear of responsibility and fear of facing consequences. A common quality of people who live positively, who know what they want, and are ready to act to achieve it. Dynamic men and women alike need clarity in thought and firmness in action, because life does not wait long enough for endless hesitation. Each decision is a milestone, helping us learn, adjust, and grow after every choice. Trust in your own ability to choose, because decisions don't always lead to success, but indecision almost certainly leads to stagnation. When we dare to decide, we step out of the fog of hesitation and enter the journey of living fully, where every choice helps shape our identity and our worth. Removing everything that isn't important allows you to know who you really are. Simplicity doesn't change who you are. It brings you back to yourself. Courtney Carver. In modern life, people are often surrounded by too many roles, expectations, possessions, and concerns that don't truly belong to them. We easily confuse what we own with who we are. External noise with our inner voice. Removing everything that isn't important, therefore, is not a loss, but a process of refinement, like wiping dust off a mirror, so we can finally see our true face clearly. When the unnecessary is let go, we gain the chance to face ourselves more honestly. That might mean releasing draining relationships, goals that no longer fit, or desires created only to compare ourselves with others. In the space that simplicity creates, we begin to hear our emotions, core values, and true desires more clearly. Like a room after a thorough cleaning, the space becomes open. Light pours in easily, and everything truly necessary suddenly stands out. Simplicity does not turn us into a different person. On the contrary, it brings us back to our most original version before we were covered by pressure, prejudice, and social masks. Simplicity is living closer to our true values, without showing off, without proving anything, yet still feeling complete and grounded. It is the state where we feel lighter because we no longer have to strain to become someone we're not. Happiness, sometimes, is not found in having more, but in daring to have less. When we courageously remove what isn't necessary, we don't lose ourselves. On the contrary, we rediscover the clarity, freedom, and authenticity that were always inside us. Simple can be harder than complex. You have to work hard to keep your thinking clean to make it simple. But it's worth it in the end, because once you get there, you can move mountains. Steve Jobs. In reality, achieving simplicity requires a far more challenging inner journey than simply accepting complexity. Complexity is often just the result of collecting too many thoughts, ideas, and worries without sorting them. Simplicity, however, demands that we dare to look directly, dare to eliminate, and dare to keep only what is essential. Keeping thinking clean does not mean thinking less, but thinking more clearly. It is the continuous process of asking, what really matters? What is just noise? Like sculpting a statue from a raw block of stone, the artist doesn't add. He patiently removes excess until the true form emerges. That process requires intense focus, mental discipline, and courage, because sometimes the things we must let go of are exactly what we once clung to for safety. That is why simplicity achieved through effort is no longer superficial simplicity, but a powerful refinement. When the mind becomes clear, energy is no longer scattered, and people act with astonishing precision and effectiveness. The image of moving mountains is not boastful. It is a metaphor for the power of a mind that has been neatly ordered. When you know where you're going and why, every step is solid, and obstacles that once seemed impossible gradually yield. Be patient with the journey towards simplicity. Even though that path demands far more effort than we expect, the reward at the end is freedom of thought and strength in action. Once true simplicity is reached, a person not only feels lighter, but also strong enough to create massive change in their life. Be the manager of your own life. Gradually cut away everything until you are left only with what you love, what is necessary, and what makes you happy. Leo Babauta. Managing your life doesn't mean rigidly controlling everything, but realizing that you have the right to choose what stays and what leaves in your own world. Too often, people live like employees of their own lives, chasing schedules, expectations, and habits set by others, only to lose the sense of ownership and true joy of living. Gradually cut away everything, a gentle but determined process. Not a sudden break, but honest observation and deep listening to oneself. We start noticing relationships that drain our energy, goals that no longer align, possessions and thoughts that only add weight. Each release creates more space for lightness, like pruning overgrown branches so sunlight can reach the roots. When the unnecessary is slowly removed, what remains becomes clearer. What we love, our core values, and moments of genuine happiness. That might be meaningful work, a few deep relationships instead of many shallow ones, or simply quiet moments to be ourselves. Life is then no longer measured by quantity, but felt through quality and depth. Happiness is not about adding more and more, but about knowing how to manage and select. When we dare to take responsibility for our own life, dare to cut away, to keep what truly matters, we not only live more neatly, but more authentically, closer to ourselves, and more peaceful with every daily choice. I'm so glad to be alive, to be able to have simple conversations, feel the sunlight, and listen to the wind moving through the leaves. Ryuichi Sakamoto. That joy springs from complete presence. When a person is not rushing toward the future or dwelling on the past, but truly here, in this moment, with all senses and emotions wide open. Being alive doesn't just mean biological existence. It means living with awareness. It is when we realize we can still have simple conversations with someone without purpose, without gain, just to connect and share. Such conversations are like cool water gently soothing the soul after long, tense days. They remind us that people need each other, not for grand reasons, but for the basic need to be heard and to be present together. Feeling the sunlight and listening to the wind moving through the leaves, a very poetic space where nature becomes a quiet companion. Sunlight doesn't just warm the skin, it warms the soul too, reminding us that the world is still gentle in its own ways. The sound of wind through leaves is like a slow background melody, helping our breathing become even, our hearts settle. Those are moments when we don't need to do anything at all, just feel, and that is enough. Happiness doesn't have to be great achievements or extraordinary things. Sometimes, happiness is simply realizing we are still alive, still able to perceive the fragile beauty of the world around us. When we learn to treasure those simple things, life suddenly becomes lighter, deeper, and far more lovable. Positive thinking doesn't just change your life, it spreads to the lives of those around you. Dale Carnegie. Positive thinking is first of all the way a person chooses to see the world, not denying difficulties, but not letting difficulties block out all the light. When someone nurtures positive thoughts, they gradually change how they respond to events, learning to stay calmer, more forgiving, and more trusting in their own ability. Life doesn't necessarily become easier, but it becomes more breathable and clearer in direction. That change doesn't stop at the individual level. Positive thinking is like a warm source of energy, quietly spreading through eyes, words, and daily behavior. An optimistic person usually brings a sense of safety and comfort to those around them, making conversations lighter and conflicts easier to resolve. Like a small candle in a dark room, the light may not be blinding, but it's enough for others to see more clearly and feel less lost. When we're near people with positive thinking, we easily catch that spirit without even realizing it. A well-timed, encouraging word, a calm attitude toward difficulty, or simply a sincere smile can help others see their problems in a less heavy way. Positive thinking is therefore not a closed, personal matter. It creates a circle of influence where good energy is passed on and continues to multiply. When you choose to live positively, you're not just doing good for yourself. You unintentionally become a source of emotional support for others. In a world full of pressure and anxiety, every small positive thought can help make the surrounding life warmer, more comfortable, and more humane. The way you think about yourself will determine the way you act, and the way you act will determine what you achieve. Brian, Tracy. Every human action stems from some belief about oneself. When we see ourselves as valuable, capable, and deserving of good things, that belief quietly guides us to act with more confidence, proactivity, and persistence. Conversely, if we constantly carry doubt or self-denial, our actions become hesitant and indecisive, as if we ourselves are limiting our own potential. The way we think about ourselves is like a compass guiding every choice. Someone who believes they can learn and grow will not shy away from challenges, readily stepping out of their comfort zone to gain experience. Those steps, even small ones, gradually form positive habits of action. Repeated action over time becomes the path to results, because success rarely comes from a single explosive moment, but from the accumulation of steady, consistent effort. We cannot expect different results if we keep the same old thoughts and old ways of doing things. All lasting transformation begins with adjusting the way we see ourselves, learning to acknowledge our own worth, allowing ourselves to fail and rise again, believing we can go further than we are now. When thinking changes, action naturally follows, and results become the inevitable consequence. You don't need to control the whole world to change your own life. Just start with the way you look at yourself, and you've already planted the seeds for right actions, opening the door to achievements worthy of the effort and faith you have nurtured.